So welcome to the Istanbul of Russia. This is the edge, or one of the edges of where the Turkic Han people, the Golden Horn, came north up the Volga. And yeah, I've just come into the train station. It's out of town, so I'm catching an underground into the city. All right, here in Kazan, they've got a very Turkish sweet tooth. And they have this stuff here, which is just like you find in Turkey. I think it's called cha-cha. Is it cha-cha? Cha-cha. Is it this stuff? Ah, this is cha. Oh, yuck. Okay, I mean, yum. Look at this is cha-cha. This is honey-coated goo. All right, of course I had to get one, and I got these bigger ones. I know this is really immature, but she said, these are ballsack cha-cha. And I was like, what? Ballsack. So I think that means big balls. Ballsack. So let's see what the ballsack cha-cha tastes like. Oh, it's really sticky. Sweet. Fun food. Kind of horrible. I mean, it's just sugar goo. Not something I would grow fond of. Although I could go and have a rave now. I think just after one bite of that thing, there's so much sugar in it. Whew, ballsack, choy. Yum.
Там, если обойти.
These are the brands behind all of this. All right, everybody, this is the moment I'm going to have a delicacy of the tartan delicacy, which, of course, if you think about it, it makes sense because they've come from the Mongol horde down south, and it is, well, you can't tell from there, but it's horse. I didn't want to get the whole big steak of horse. That seemed a bit gross. So these are little horse balls, well, little dumplings, which I guess is the traditional Mongol food, and we had lamb, but I reckon they did have horse, so let's try it, see what it tastes like. Oh, it reminds me of the joke, what did the horse say when it stepped into the freezer? Okay, here we go. Oh, tastes like chicken. No, it doesn't taste like chicken. It does taste horsey, tastes gamey, fleshy. Like you know you're not eating lamb or beef. Interesting. So I met this local last night and she said, you got to come here to the blue lakes. They look blue in her pictures, but they look a bit green and musty down here. But anyway, this is apparently the warm swimming pool. And I said, how warm is it? And she said it's between 2 and 4 degrees, which apparently is warm because it doesn't have ice in it. Now in Australia, that would be an ice bath. So anyway, I'm going to jump in and see just what the warm pool of Kazan is like. Apparently it is 2 degrees today. Well, she told me last night that you can't trust the tribes from the south because they have slanty eyes because they're from the steppes and they burnt the Kremlin down and that's why they can't be trusted. Now that was hundreds of years ago, but that type of resentment and that type of fear of these wild tribes, they call them, of the south of over in the Urals where I was, the Caucasus down the south of Volga, as well as over in the Urals over to the east, is the kind of fear that drives this parochialism here that forms these states. You know, we heard of Chechnya, but we didn't hear about all these other little states and fiefdoms and republics that they have within this big, great Russia, Soviet Union type of area. Behind me is the Kremlin. It's older than Moscow. A Kremlin means basically a walled fortress castle. Inside it's got a big church and it's turned into a big mosque. Masses of things to see here. It's right on the intersection, and so many layers. This intersection of the Muslim influence coming up, and then Ivan the Terrible coming south, Catherine the Great, Peter I, everybody conquering into this, if you like, a Y section of the Volga. And we're right at that apex middle bit. The top bit, the left bit, goes on up to Moscow, the right bit up to the Urals, and the bottom bit heads down to the Caspian. And if you own all of that stuff, yeah, you're rich, basically. You've got free trade up and down into the Caspian, into the Middle East, all the way through. So this was a crucial point. Attila the Hun's son, he gifted this area, the northern bit, to his eldest son, and it formed the Golden Horde. And this Golden Horde, which is a whole group of other collectives of people, basically rule this area. And you hear a lot about those guys. They raped and pillaged their way through. This was, as I said, their far northern influence, and so you've kind of got this 50% of this culture is Muslim and 50% Orthodox. Lots of different things going on here. An amazing circus that they've got, and a circus round kind of UFO building. I went to a sort of underground pub last night that was completely closed and dark until I got there, and they opened it and we went down into the dungeons. Lots of different depths. I've just been out to the Blue Lake, which was as brown and cold as I ever thought. They said it was a hot spring. It was 2 to 4 degrees. I think it was 2 degrees today. But loads of things here. Really enjoyed my 3 days here at Kazan. Now heading off to Yakutsk to see a different culture. But I've learned a lot about these southern cultures by being in here. Also, they got these kind of like Cornish pasties. They triangular things, interesting concepts that the mother of the house has to make every time you're having a party. He has to make a big one of these Cornish pasties and break into it. That's quite cool. And they eat horse here, so I had some of that too. Lots of things, as I said. Kazan, worth a visit. I reckon it's one of the best cities I've been to within Russia. Oh, I forgot to mention one thing, which was Lenin studied here at the university. The university is the third largest. It's basically down here in these old buildings. It's beautiful. It's the third oldest university in Russia, but it was only like 1803 or something. That's not that old when you look at Australian history and Captain Cook 1780 and Governor Phillip, and you know that I would have thought that there would have been many universities in Russia at 1800, but the third university was here. Many famous people came through that university. But so it's kind of a big university town as well. And also I heard from a student again last night that you could, as a Russian, once you've done your exam, everybody sits exactly the same exam across all of Russia, exactly the same time. You get a number, a mark. That mark then gets you into any university you want in Russia. You can choose any university, it's totally free. If you've got the marks, you can get in there. How cool is that? And you can move, and that's why a lot of Russians move to St. Petersburg, Moscow, Vladivostok when they go to university, because it doesn't cost them anything. And I think they get subsidized to live as well. Not 100% certain about that by the state. But education is a big driver here, and moving of people and young people around the country as a result through that is also. So that's a great thing, I think.